All right, we're going to go over the September 2013 real comp statistics. So, median sales are up 40% to 125,000. So, what does that mean? That means that the market has increased and houses are going for more. So, the market has increased 40% on average. The average house sold has increased 40%. So, higher values are going, and the same house is going for more this year than it did last year. All the MLS sales are up almost 10% from last year. So more houses, 10% more houses sold in September. So if there were 1,000 houses that sold in September last year, 1,100 sold this year. Now those aren't actual numbers, but that's how you can think about it. 6% are short sales. What's a short sale? Talked about it last month, but I'll go over it again. Short sale is where a house sells for less than which the mortgage is on the house. So if the house has a mortgage for 100,000, sells for 80,000, that is a short sale. On a short sale, the owner needs to either come to the table with $20,000 to make up the difference, or get it approved through the bank for the bank to take 20,000 less. So that's what a short sale is. You can Google it. There's a lot of information about short sales out there. You can also ask me questions. From there, still we're at 35% all cash in the market. So out of 10 houses, 3.5 of them have sold all cash. We've kind of varied from 35 to 40% if you click back through the different months as to how many of these houses are going all cash. It's still a significant portion of the market. You see a lot of high-end sales go for all cash. You know, the stuff that is 300, 400, million, $2 million. A lot of that goes all cash. Also, the stuff that is under 50,000, the majority of that goes all cash. It's not worth it. It gets too expensive for banks to loan on properties under 50,000. Can they? Do certain banks do it? Sure. But why would a bank accept your offer for 30,000 finance when it's competing against other cash offers for the same amount? Doesn't make sense. That's why those go all cash. The average days on market has decreased from 76 last month to 54 this month. From August to September, we've decreased 2 days. So 2 days less house sits on the market on average than what it did last month, and 22 days less than what it did last year at the same time. So the days on market continues to decrease on a month-to-month basis and on an annual basis. The on-the-market inventories declined 13%, which helps impact how much longer the stuff sits on the market. If there's less on the market, there's as many or more buyers than there were last year, all fighting over 13% less houses, which means they're selling faster. And people are willing to take stuff. You know, if you had a garage, you really wanted a garage. Well, you're losing out on house to house to house. And, you know, maybe you'll bend on that, and now you'll buy a house without a garage on it and look to build one at a later date. So people are kind of changing their criteria, which is leading the houses selling quicker. Stuff that isn't as good a shape selling that wouldn't have sold last year and sat on the market a little bit longer until maybe a price decrease or the right buyer came. From there, like I talked about, 6% of the market short sales, and only 13% of the market is foreclosures. A lot of people got a call today. Well, I want to buy a foreclosure. Really? Okay. You can buy the foreclosure, but now you're looking at 87% of the market you aren't looking at. Really, if the numbers make sense, it doesn't matter if it's foreclosure, short sale, unless you don't want to wait for a short sale. But foreclosure, private sale, as long as your numbers make sense, go for it. It doesn't really matter if it's a foreclosure or not. So you can go into the statistical summary, look at these very same stats. You can look at it on a county-to-county basis. You also can go into the zip code breakdown and look at it from a city-to-city basis. It's really interesting. If you're looking at maybe buying in Rochester Hills, you can look directly at Rochester Hills. Oakland Township, same thing, Rochester. All these things are different, have different numbers, and you can look at that in the zip code breakdown. So any questions, give me a call. Information is on this webpage. Also, you can call me at 248-933-9462 or email me at joe.delia, D-E-L-I-A, at realtyagent.com, realtyagent.com. Thank you.